Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn. September 1st to the 15th, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels, and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. Let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Devil, which is us Capricorn shining through in the major arcana. I always thought it was a bit rude that we're represented by the Devil, but, I guess that is how it is here in the tarot. And so we have the very essence of ourselves coming forward, but we also have ourselves breaking a lot of doubts and hurts and pains and addictions and fears that have been holding us back. And it leads us to judgment, our hearts being judged against the weight of a feather, as Anubis has done throughout time. We have the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords, which is very interesting. We have a naming of heartbreak and pain and a darkness before the dawn, a rising out of darkness and taking what once was a wound to us, what once kept us held back or doubted and afraid, and now making it into that which absolutely guides us forward in determination, focus, and understanding. It brings us then to our emotional self. We have the Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If we have this within our natal chart, if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, this is going to be coming through very profoundly within our emotional self. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. Things need to be balanced. There's going to be a sense of things being out of balance and us trying to overcompensate for that. But there's going to be a need to look at how we want to move forward and where it is that we want to be and what it is that we desire, and put into balance who we are and not let people emotionally manipulate us out of balance. We then have the King of Pentacles, which is us Capricorn coming through as a king. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana, by the Devil in the major arcana. We have the Eight of Wands. Things come very quickly during this time. And the Death card, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. As we claim our power, there is a transformation that comes on quickly. And it has us stepping into this new aspect of ourselves, this new desire that we have, this new passion and want and need to move forward. Now let us look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And it's the Lord. It's Aries energy, but it is also the sense of absolute power. And that old saying that the want of absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's going to be very much a thing to be mindful of during this time. People who demand that we absolutely listen to them and we absolutely, do things their way. And I have to have my say in this all the time. We have to step back from those people because they're not going to help elevate us forward. Now we're going to be very drawn to them because we're going to see them as being very strong because our world tells us that's what strength looks like. That's what power looks like. But, we do have the old statement, better to be feared than to be loved. But in our world today, that was a very, very old statement done thousands upon thousands of years ago. But today, love is important. The heart is important. Respect that is earned and not given out of fear and doubt is important. The medieval mentality and the modern mentality are astoundingly different. And so though we might look at strength and see it in one specific way, the heart is going to call for it to be in a different one. And don't think yourself wrong for wanting there to be love and respect at the base of it. Our chakra self. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Holistic health. This is one of my absolutely favorite cards. This is the root chakra. And this is saying that at the basis of ourselves is our holistic health. Now, this does not mean, that you should go completely holistic if you are receiving medical treatment, of course. What this is saying is that we have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our holistic being, why we are here, our authenticity. And not saying that we should hold up authenticity like a banner. What it is saying is that we should walk in a way in our lives and put our feet down in a way to leave a print on this earth that is completely us. It says, I was here. I am here. And this is why I move forward. This is what I need. This is who I am. There's nobody quite like me. Did you know that the veins in our skin, the pattern of our veins, that even identical twins' vein patterns are different? There's nobody quite like us. And so let us take that power. Let us take that understanding and say, this is me. At my root, I walk in what I need to be holistically, beautifully, and lovingly empowered with myself. And it's also looking at things and saying, what's right to me? I was inspired holistically in the most seemingly unlikely of ways through a 5-minute commercial on YouTube. And this person said, your shoes shouldn't be comfortable. And I thought, what? And my feet have been hurting me. And my mom has bad feet because they're so flat, and my feet are very flat too. And I heard about this barefoot shoe and this barefoot movement, which has been going on forever, but I tend to live in a bubble. And how you can strengthen your feet and heal your feet through that. And it just made all the sense in the world. All the inner soles that I have, all the shoes that I have with the big cushions, things to try and make my feet comfortable. Maybe it's just learning how to walk properly, learning how to strengthen all the muscles in my feet, taking a holistic approach instead of a, cushiony, make things better, make things feel better, but then make nothing better approach. And so here also with food, being very mindful of the food that we put into our bodies, the drinks that we put into our bodies. What does your stomach feel like if you have a glass of wine? I know for mine gets sour and upset. And so here, when we find ourselves finding our balance, we find ourselves finding ourselves because it takes away a layer of pain, a layer of distraction, a layer of listening what's right for others and not right for ourselves. And that leads us to the devil. What are we addicted to? That is a societal norm. What are we addicted to? That was because we were trying to please a caregiver. What are we addicted to? To numb out what it is that we needed to see. And that's one of the things about being a Capricorn. And I know it does sound rude, and I do not mean it to be at all. But there's a need here to say, what is it that is my fallback? As all human beings have it. It's not just you, Capricorn, at all. But what is my fallback that keeps me from looking at where I really need to be and what I truly desire? And why I fear this, and how this opens up the doorway and leads me forward. And so the devil, when we face it, frees us. When we say, I see you, and we see this within our inner selves, it's like, I see you hurt and pain and disappointment and anger and upset. And that's why we're weighing our hearts against feathers. Which sounds so odd to do, but Anubis, in the time of the ancient Egyptians, he weighed the person who passed heart against a feather. And if your heart was lighter than a feather, you were entered into paradise. But if your heart was heavier, you were not. What is weighing our hearts down? What is breaking our hearts? What is keeping us from our paradise here on earth? And it's not saying that paradise is going to be perfect. Remember, Dostoevsky said that if we created our utopias, we would pop them one by one like bubbles. And I love that imagery. Just taking our idea of paradise and ruining it. And saying, oh no, it's not good enough. Popping them like Cinderella's dreams when she's scrubbing the floor and Lucifer comes through. It leads us to looking at our heartbreaks and our pains and our disappointments, the things that have broken us, in ways that maybe we do not even want to admit to ourselves. But they keep us small and they keep us silent. And as we look at the heartbreak and the pain, instead of saying, this is my burden to bear for the rest of my existence, this is the thing that makes me less than all of you, we say, this is what has shaped me and forged me and tried to break me. And remember how diamonds are made. Diamonds are pieces of coal put under a tremendous amount of pressure for a tremendously long period of time. And if they shatter, they do not become diamonds. But if they withstand that pressure, they become one of the strongest materials we know. And so we are being made into a diamond. And it is not pleasant. It is painful, it is intense, and it is powerful, and it is real. And we take the hurts and the pains that once stabbed us in the back and kept us in the fetal position, made us think, I can't possibly get up from here. And we say, this is not my power to move forward. This is not my insight, and this is not my ideas. And this is what's not going to destroy me. And we look at the 10 of Swords. It's the darkness before the dawn. It's being almost buried in the chaos of our emotions, in overthinking and overanalyzing and overfeeling. Because you can overfeel and you can overthink. And what the inner self is saying is enough is enough. To repeat the pain over and over again. It's like only loving once. I have had dogs my whole entire life. It's like saying, I had this dog, and I love this dog so much, I will never get another dog because they'll never be as good. But your heart would never be filled the same way. And it is important for that love, that heart muscle, to grow and grow and grow. Now, it might not be right for everybody, but this is how I see it, and this is how Spirit speaks it to me. To bring ourselves out of the cage, out of the darkness, out of the doubt, out of the fear, and to empower ourselves. And as we do so, we become students of our passion and students of the way the fire burns within our hearts and how we need to let ourselves sing and move forward, how we need to love and express. The Page of Wands is being a student of that passion, being a student of holding that torch, being a student of saying, there's purpose here, there's meaning here, there's power here, and that power begins with me. As we learn what makes us smile, as we learn what's sacredly important to our hearts and our souls and ourselves, we learn who we are. I believe very strongly, and have since I was a very little girl, that it is easier to know who we are not than to know who we are. It's easier to know I don't want to be friends with those people than it is to kind of figure out the friends that we want to be, the people that we want to be friends with. And maybe people will disagree, but I've always seen this to be true. Just like it's really easy to know the food that we never want to eat again, and it's really hard to pick that one food that you want to eat for the rest of your life. And so, being the Page of Wands, we are the student of the things that we love, of the passions that move forward. But to be that student, we also have to stumble across a lot of things that we don't want in our lives, that aren't right for us, that may be right for other people and make them blissfully happy, but they do not make us blissfully happy. And so we follow the bliss. Not to say that every moment should be walking on sunshine and unicorns and bunny rabbits, but that there gets to be happiness to life, that we cherish like we cherish seeing a shooting star. It brings us wonder and joy and a little bit of excitement, and it moves us then to the Six of Pentacles, what needs to be balanced within our waking world to bring us happiness. Where is it that the giving and giving is, and the taking and taking is? And that isn't in harmony. Because here we need the harmony. We need the insight and the passion and the power of the self to open up our hearts, to open up our minds, to balance who we are and what we love and desire. The Six of Pentacles comes, and it says, I am balancing me. I am seeing me. I am honoring me. It brings us then to the King of Pentacles in the waking world. In the waking world, we are seen as kings, we are seen as conquerors, we are seen as go-getters and doers and determined forces. We're not seen as weak, we're seen as monarchs. The King of Pentacles brings us prosperity and success and has us seen as prosperous and successful. What are we nourishing? And what are we giving our time to? What is important to us? Not what is important to everybody else and how they want to use us and spread us thin. But what is important to us and what is the boundaries that we are setting up? Because a king without boundaries is a man soon destroyed. And so here we look at what we want and what we desire. We find the power and the purpose of our voice. And we grow it little by little, step by step, into something magnificent. Because during this time, as much as we have our inner selves kind of conquering demons, right? We have ourselves embracing a trueness, an essence, a determination of self and desire that gives us such clear focus. And it brings us to the Eight of Wands. In the public arena, we are going to see things happening very, very quickly. And we're going to almost think like, it's like if you say yes to something, it's already in motion. And you're like, wait a minute, I said yes like 5 seconds ago, give me a moment. This isn't going to be time for moments. This is going to be a time where hit the ground running. Go, 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 and go. The Eight of Wands is going and doing and evolving and seeing and knowing that I'm here for the ride. Where does it take me? It brings us then to the Death card. It brings us to a place with the dying of the old self, the rebirth of the new, with a way at this time's end that we see things differently than we have before, that we embrace things differently than we have before. We are powerful, insightful, and truthful. But we are also hyper-aware that we are living in a different world than the one we had inhabited before. Not that the walls of our homes are different or, anything like that, but that the way our soul responds is different, is hopefully a little bit calmer, a little bit wiser, a little bit more aligned with where we want to be, but not so ruled by fear, but guided by wisdom, hard-won and sacredly earned. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena. It's the Prince of Swords. Now, not the public arena, energy to be mindful of. The Prince of Swords is being very mindful of the people who want to sweep in like white knights and sweep us off our feet. It's lovely. I always wanted to be rescued. I mean, really, when I was younger, it was just the most wonderful fantasy to just have somebody else take care of everything. To not have to be worried or scared or, alone. But here's the kicker. Nobody saves you but you. And nothing in life is given for free. I remember I had a friend, and her mother said, if you marry for money, you pay for every single cent you get. And she said it with such certainty and a little bit of sorrow. And I always remember the look in her eyes. And that just sticks with me when I see the King of Swords in the negative sense. That if somebody comes in and saves you, you pay for that rescue. And sometimes the price is more than we ever thought it should be or would be, because we thought it was freely given. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, and that's the inner child, the heart chakra. Whenever this card comes up, I love to visualize my inner child, the person that I was when life got hard, around 8, where I lived a fairy tale up until that, and then suffering became known, and devastation and loss and pain and hurt. And so I like to envision that child. And now for you, it could be whatever age. And hold my arms open to her, letting the child that I was run into the adult that I am. And for me to hold on tight, to say I love you and I'm here for you. I will always listen to you. I will always care for you. I will always be here for you. See where that takes you. That little bit of encouragement that might sound so silly. It does wonders. It opens up the heart in a real way. Our subconscious rooted message is the Chariot. Love brings us to unbelievable heights, moves us in ways that makes us warriors, determined, focused, great individuals. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. which is the Six of Swords, gathering up the knowledge that we need and moving forward, facing the unknown and the waters that run deep, the emotions that run deep, but knowing that it is time to change. It is time to move towards greater things. It brings us then to our subconscious, emotional self. And that is the Seven of Swords. Pick your battles wisely, Capricorn. Do not fight all of them, because it is a waste of your time and energy. It is a lowering of your energy vibration. And just not needed. The Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords, says be mindful. Be mindful of how you move forward. Be mindful of what you take with you, of what you leave behind, of the sneakiness around. Claim your power. Claim your focus. And don't let anybody stand in your way. But take what is needed and leave the rest. Be mindful of what you carry, because some of it weighs too much. It's too much of a burden to keep on carrying. Our subconscious, public self, is the Seven of Wands. Again, be mindful of what you fight and why you fight it. Be mindful of the battles, because some of them are just there to waste your energy and avert your attention. This is a time where we look at what we need, where we stand true in what we want, and we say, this is where my energy goes, this is what I desire, and this is where I need to be. Period. End of discussion. And I will not let people sway me from my chosen path, from what my heart says is needed, wanted, and sacred to me. All right. I hope this reading has resonated with you, Capricorn. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the beauty and the power that is us, Capricorn. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.